Okay, the call of Jeremiah. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations.
So basically, I'm not going to read it because we don't only have 3 minutes. But you know how Abraham, God's like, alright, you're going to have a lot of sons. Even though him and his wife are really old and it was basically seemed impossible for them to have kids. So they're going through and his wife's like, alright, we're getting old. Well, you need a son. And it's like, take my slave Hagar, you know, conceive a child, yada, yada, yada. So it happens. And then, you know, Ishmael was born. And Hagar totally ran away with Ishmael. And they were dying. Well, she hid him in a bush because she didn't want him to see her die. But, well, that's not really important to the story. Yada, yada, yada. This dude ended up having a bunch of stuff. God gave him a bunch of stuff. Now we're going to close with our awesome argument. Surrogatism, I don't know what it's called.
Surrogate.
Yeah. That, basically, no sex involved. You know who else had a child without sex being involved?
God.
Mary.
And Mary. What is Mary?
She was a surrogate mother, totally. So, yeah. It's awesome. God did it.
And that's our argument.
Okay, first off, it was Abraham's wife, not Abraham himself, who said, go take.
I know.
Secondly, Hagar did not just automatically leave. His wife, Abraham's wife, wanted them dead. So they were basically told, get out. I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I am. Secondly, Mary did not have sex with God. That's something Greek-like. Okay? God did not come down and God and Mary had sex. It was the Holy Spirit came and put Christ into her. Okay? That's completely different. Okay, also, when we go into Genesis, okay, in chapter 2, after the creation of man, it says, if I can get there, it says, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and they will become one flesh. Not a man and a wife, and then another woman become one flesh. It's just one man and one woman. That's it. Okay? There's no need for someone else. And for the Abraham thing, it wasn't like they were just like, well, you know, you're going to have, God didn't say to him, well, you're going to have many kids. It's going to be your sons. It was your future children. Meaning kids to come. Because Jacob had a lot of kids. And Jacob is the son of Isaac, who is the son of Abraham. So, it didn't directly say, you're going to have many sons, meaning you and your wife are going to start reproducing like crazy. Never said that.
30 seconds.
In the future, they will come. And the nation was Israel, which Jacob became. So, and they didn't make a nation as an Israel out of the other kid. It was his own child, Abraham's own flesh and blood.
First of all, the whole that God didn't come down and have sex with Mary, that's what I was saying. That proves my point. The surrogateness, there's no sex involved in that. Don't make fun of my pronunciation. And I know a lot of stuff you said, except I was trying to go through because we only have 3 minutes, so I cut a lot of that down. And the whole only 2 people, well, they're not, the guy's not going out and doing it with another chick in this whole, I'm not going to try to say it again because I'll get points taken off. Because
hey, that's not fair. You didn't
it's
tell
not
us
like,
at the beginning.
I don't know how to word this in 2 minutes. You're saying they're one person, alright? That's what you're going for. Well, they still are
1 minute.
person, but they need help getting another little person.
Just like Brett was saying a couple weeks ago, preserve human life. It's not really preserving, it's making more human life with the help of somebody else.
It's like they both have, they're like, oh man, this basket's really heavy, and the other chick's like, oh, this pot of water's really heavy, and this big burly chick, because obviously that's what she's like,
30
well,
seconds.
I can carry your bucket of water and your thing of feed. Because that's what burly chicks sound like.
Okay, here's the thing. You said that they did have sex. I heard you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Secondly, okay? I was going to say, darn it, I just lost it. Oh,
God is not a man. He is not a person to do it. So it cannot be surrogacy. Because
Oh, he used the right word, Caleb.
With a wife and a man putting it into another person, that's surrogacy. But when God does it, it's not because of other reasons.
Okay,
And
so
also,
and
1 minute.
Okay, another thing is, everyone's saying you gotta reproduce life.
Not fair.
There's more
We
life
only
than
have 2
reproduce. Why reproduce more life whenever there's a lot of people that there's more there's a lot of kids out there that need adopted? Why reproduce more life if you can't have kids?
Because
Don't make more kids with another.
Okay,
don't
hold
make
up.
more kids with another
30
person.
seconds.
Adopt kids.
Not
Don't make
everyone
more kids
is
with another
meant
person.
to. What she's trying to say is not everyone is meant to have their own kids. They can go out and get other people's kids. That is not wrong.
and that's
To
for
give
them
a
to
good
decide.
hound to someone else, that would be a right thing to do.
Don't stick your baby in another person's body.
Time is up.